Hello everyone, welcome to day 2 of Painting Daily, and my name is Jesus Conde, and today we're going to apply some color to this painting. So let's get started. Alright, so yesterday we did our sketch, and today we're going to be putting some color on it. The sketch was done very freely, like I wasn't looking at any reference that moment, so the idea is that today we're going to apply some color because the sketch was done already and I just copy pasted the entire thing. All these colors that I'm applying to the background are using a multiply layer. That means that whatever color I put in is gonna make whatever is behind, in this case the sketch, darker with that color. So if another way you can do it is to have the line art in or the drawing or the sketch in multiply, and then you can paint the color below that layer, below the layer of the sketch. But in this case we're doing it backwards. I'm applying the color on top. If I didn't use a multiply layer, it will be just covering everything with color without us being able to see the lines. These colors is being applied also without using reference, which I don't really recommend, but I'm trying to be as free as possible of all of that at this point, and trying to go with what I have in my mind. And I will now then use some reference for the face and a little bit for the leaves, and you can pretty much tell the difference. Like right now all the shapes and everything looks kind of cartoonish, like it doesn't really make it kind of does look, I guess it looks nice, but it's not really something that is professional looking. And even though this is just for me to have fun, I do still want to make it look good, and it's not just gonna be a whatever kind of a painting. So I'm trying to apply some colors here and there. Now I am actually painting in a normal layer, like the this is not a multiply layer anymore. And by the way, I just adjusted brightness and contrast a little bit to make it more brightened. And you're gonna see a lot of changes on this today, because I'm trying to figure out what the mood of the image is. And if it gets stuck for like a couple of seconds on the video, is because I'm actually looking for something on my phone to use as reference. In this case, it's gonna be the leaves. Right now, I'm doing that because I don't have another monitor. I used to have two monitors, but honestly, it's too distracting for me. Whenever I have two monitors, I start putting other stuff on the other monitor. And it's way too distracting. So I prefer to use just one. I don't know. It's something I've been trying to figure out. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. And now I completely got rid of it because I don't like the distractions. So, but for reference, it's good. In this case, I look for some leaves as reference, especially because of the lighting. Like I wasn't too sure what colors to use. So it turns out they're very bright, and these are not what the final shapes are going to be, but it's allowing me to figure out some of the where the light hits and stuff like that. Also, I figured out that I will want a lighter background and some light coming through the leaves, and I'm just painting some kind of random shapes between the leaves. Especially in this case, I'm using a light color behind the helmet, which is dark feathers, so it's gonna make it pop even more. So that's a good thing for the silhouette of the character. Now I'm on to looking some um, wood or tree branch kind of a material, and even though it's not really gonna look anything like the reference that I'm looking at least kind of making me think on how I'm going to approach it later. Like it's not really necessary. It's not really a problem that I have to solve right now. I just want to look for a direction. And it turns out it's kind of like more grayish looking instead of brown. And same with everything else. Turns out I was using way too colorful palette, and it has to be kind of more muted, a little bit more darker in order to make it look more realistic, serious. So the feathers though do have a little bit of bluish and purple color instead of just black. So I'm gonna be doing that, and eventually I will put some specular, which is like the reflection of light on objects. I'm gonna have to be putting some specular lighting on those feathers to make them pop more. In the face, I was struggling a lot on the shape of the face. Do I go with whatever with the face, or do I look for reference? But then the reference has to be the exact same way that it looks, like the perspective of it. So it's kind of difficult to find that. By the way, guys, if you like this content, please consider joining Patreon. I will be uploading the PSDs and everything that I can from the paintings that I've been doing daily. And I'm actually uploading a lot of the comic book content in there, all the pages one by one. So yeah, if you want to support this channel, please consider joining the Patreon. Alright, so sorry about that. Right now, I did wanted to make it look more realistic, the face, and it was kind of difficult just doing it with my mind. Like I need a reference. I did need reference for the face. Like this is just not what I have in mind for how I wanted it to look. You can think of something and yes, it looks good, but then you're painting it and it doesn't look quite like what you're thinking. So it's like I do need reference for that. So eventually I'm gonna start painting on the face, and just so you know, it's gonna be looking at a picture. The picture that I found was black and white, but it's still very helpful. Some of the stuff I can still do some progress without reference, like these shapes of the body. These are general shapes. It's not really anything detailed yet. I'm not painting like ribs or like the specific shape of the knee with all the bones and joints inside and everything. All of that is gonna have to be figured out eventually, but not right now. So another thing that I wasn't liking too much was that arm that was extending to the front. It was looking kind of weird. And yeah, this is me just trying to figure out a little bit of where to put colors and stuff like that. But still, I wasn't feeling the how you say that, the mood that I wanted to convey. I'm fixing stuff, and that's good, but still, the progress is not there. Like I do need to make it look more serious and realistic to match everything else that I'm doing with the comics way of looking. Some corrections in proportions there. She does have some kind of a skirt kind of a thing that I will have to put later, but it falls on the back. And yeah, so I took the color of the sky and made it a multiply layer, and just using the paint bucket, I just put it all over the painting. And then using a mask, I'm trying to erase where I think the light will hit the most, and that kind of gave the look that I was looking for. So I was gonna just continue with that and and yeah, just keep working on it, because it was kind of difficult to figure that out for some reason. It's like I forgot how to do some things some days. And that's also a reason why I wanted to do this series. Like, I wanted to be more practical with the painting. Sometimes at work I use 3D and stuff like that, and the painting is not really this heavy unless I have to do like a key art or something like that. But and you can tell, like, kind of that you lose a little bit of practice when you do that. So it's nice to have like these kinds of like personal projects that you can work on your own time, and that do feel that kind of like a space, that void of not having to do these kinds of things at work. Like, it's a completely different kind of work. Concept art is kind of repetitive sometimes, and it can, for people that is not used to it, it can feel a little bit like annoying, especially at the beginning, because of all the changes. And that's basically it. Like, that's most of the work is just painting and drawing a lot, according to the changes that you're asked. And it's actually a fun job if you look at it that way. If you look at it at the I'm gonna have fun in work, like, that's not gonna happen. Like, I don't think it's the way that you should look at it, to be honest. But well, this is transforming into some kind of talk about concept art. I will do that if you guys want me to talk about it. But let's continue talking about the painting. So I looked for a reference. The image was in black and white, so I kind of had to translate in my mind what it will be in colors, according to the colors that I already had on the painting. But it really helped me for the values. It really helped me. And it's starting to have this more of a realistic look. Now I'm kind of happy with it, and it's feeling great to give the step, because once you do that, once you figure something out that you were stuck with the painting, everything else starts to move towards that direction. Like, I cannot have this more realistic looking face and then have cartoony looking leaves. So all of the painting is going to change now, according to this new direction. And it feels good, because that, like, when the direction is the one that you wanted it to look, it's even more rewarding. But that's something that time is gonna give. The time that you spend on the painting. And also, I'm able to do that because I left this painting rest. Like, this is another day that I'm painting this, so it's kind of looking. I can see the mistakes. I can see what can I improve easily. If I was doing the whole progress in just one day, I don't think I would have been able to see what it needed, or like all the stuff that I needed to change. And instead, because waiting for the next day, like today, to paint it, I can see all of that. And still, there's a little bit of weird proportions. It's still looking a bit cartoony. I think I also changed the size of the face again. And I also decided, as you saw, to change to rotate the image a little bit, because it was looking way too inclined. And yeah, I'm actually really liking now the direction now. I'm excited to see what the feathers are gonna look like. I don't know why. It's gonna be interesting. And yeah, see, like the ears, I didn't have any reference for the ears at the moment, but immediately, by having a face like this, they cannot just look like just some colors there. They have to look more realistic, and I had to redraw some of the stuff, and everything is gonna change now because of that change on the face to a more of a realistic look. And I'm really happy with how it's starting to feel. Even the bone, like the bird skull, is gonna be changing. And then I'm just putting together a small folder in the PSD so I can have whatever progress was in day 2. And eventually, when I share the PSD on the Patreon, it's gonna have all the days, so you can see the progress there day by day on the PSD. And some people is gonna think that's helpful, some people don't. I feel like it is always nice to see the PSDs of the artists. And yeah, man, this is the final result of day 2. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider joining the Patreon, and thank you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.